Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this great location of the farmers market here. I understand in a national poll, this farmers market came up #1 in the country. So come get your apples, your oranges. They're all freshly picked. We are here with so many familiar faces, many electeds behind me, and the partners we have both with the school district, the college, and many of our nonprofits. But those of us in Santa Monica know that it's much, much more than just, everybody looks at Santa Monica and they say, well, we got great beaches, we got this great pier. Everybody wants to come to Santa Monica. But there's much, much more than just that. This city is a very complex city that deals with very complex issues. For example, the adolescent mental health crisis, the achievement gap, the affordability, diversity, homeless, the mobility. This is a good example of this new scramble right here as we're trying to address some of the mobility issues here in town. The city has been bringing together partners from the public, private, and nonprofit sectors effectively in these difficult issues for over 4 decades, 40 years. Today, I am pleased to announce that the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the nation's largest funder dedicated to advancing the public health and well-being, has honored our work and naming this great city of Santa Monica as the 2016 Culture of Health Prize. With that award comes actually a nice little grant, but more than that, it really talks about how great the city is in terms of developing these partnerships with many of our friends and folks that are here today. Not only does it recognize the communities that are involved within the city of Santa Monica, but more than that, all the volunteers that we have through the staff and through private and public sectors here in Santa Monica. Santa Monica has been proven and has a track record of not only receiving awards, but many, many grants over the years. In these last 40 years, I've been part of many of them, and I'm glad to see that we are being recognized again for all our hard work. And many of these folks that are standing here with me, and many here that are here in the audience, have a lot to do with it and have done so much work in the nonprofit world, in the private sector, and more than anything here with our local staff here within the city of Santa Monica. A culture of health is who we are. Equity, as we see our signs here. Well, starting here with sustainability, connected, inclusive, healthy, diverse, compassion, creativity. We have so many folks that have done some real interesting things and have been able to put together in many of these very critical issues all these resources to really begin to come up with solutions to solve some of these problems. I remember back in the 90s when I was running back then, it seemed like every candidate forum that I attended was talking about the homeless issue. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And most of us that were running back then were talking about it's a regional problem. We're going to do as much as we can. And Santa Monica has gone above and beyond. And now, as you see some of the folks that are here with us today, and this award actually demonstrates that we've actually been able to tackle some of these tough problems. And I think you're all to be commended for that. As we move forward, before we get too farther on, let me recognize some of the elected officials that we do have here with us today. I have one of my colleagues here from the City Council, Gleam Davis. Our former mayor, Nat Travis. Our Assembly member and former mayor, Richard Bloom, who will be speaking in a few minutes. We have one of our college board members here, Maria Leon Vasquez. And actually, our rent board, Anastasia, is also the commissioner and is actually running also, is real active with us. And I don't see any of the others, but we may be also joined by a few other electeds in a minute. But let me bring up now one of our former mayors and now our state assembly member, Richard Bloom.
Thank you, Mayor Vasquez. It's great to be here this morning. And Mayor, I'm a little bit disappointed that you didn't abide by the number one lesson that I've taught you as a former mayor, and that is on an extraordinarily beautiful day like today, as mayor, always take credit for the great weather. What do you do when the weather's bad? Blame the city manager. It really is an extraordinarily beautiful day, and what a great day to be able to receive this extraordinary prize from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. All of the issues that we deal with here in Santa Monica are not issues that take place just here in our city. They're frequently, almost always, regional issues as well, sometimes national issues and beyond. But here in Santa Monica, there's a long history of the community coming together to address multifaceted and complex problems. And what a perfect place for us to be standing today to talk about how we address those issues in Santa Monica. We're steps away, actually, in the midst of the organic Santa Monica Farmers Market that serves tens of thousands of people every week. There are 4 farmers markets in Santa Monica, probably a record per capita anywhere, providing fresh fruit and vegetables and healthy options for people. Behind me is an extraordinary asset that we have, the ocean and the beach. Something that not too many years ago, a place that not too many years ago was not that clean. Here in Santa Monica, efforts taken to clean the water, clean the beach, to stop smoking on the beach and in our parks here. We're steps away from hundreds of units of affordable housing in a downtown area where Santa Monica has focused efforts to build that kind of housing. And in amongst those housing units are units for homeless individuals, units for mentally ill individuals. Here in Santa Monica, a conscious effort to make that happen. You can walk to transit from here. Again, a decades-long effort to bring light rail and great transit options and walkability and bicycling to the city. Extremely important to everyone who lives here, everybody who visits here, and people who work here. And of course, world-class shopping at every level, at your fingertips in the city, a conscious effort to make that happen. These are issues that don't happen without, these are solutions, these are things that don't happen without long-term commitment of community members. And just looking around me, the people who are here, some are new to these discussions, but so many of you have been here year in, year out, decade in, decade out, over the long term, working on these things to make these wonderful things happen in Santa Monica. That's why this award was given to Santa Monica. It's the long-term effort. It is the community coming together as symbolized by this, I think just last night or 2 nights ago, painted intersection. The symbolism of hands coming together, reaching out towards one another to solve problems. Congratulations, Santa Monica. It is an extremely important achievement and a message to the community and communities beyond that we bring here today. Thank you.
And now let me bring up our leader here on the staff end that we're so happy that he's joined us. And he has a history not only of running cities, but also as a former mayor himself, Rick Cole.
Thank you very much. To those whom much is given, much is asked. We're being lifted up as a national model because we're committed to lifting up everyone in this community. This is a community that believes deeply that no one should be left out, no one should be left behind, that we should build a city that works for everyone. The City Council has identified 5 game-changing priorities. 5 priorities that will allow us over the next 3 to 5 years to not only better serve the 93,000 people who live here, but not only to be a regional model, but to be a national model recognized by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and more importantly by our cities all over the country, our sister and brother cities all over the country, struggling with the same challenges we are and looking in the native soil for solutions that work, and growing and nurturing those solutions and making sure that no one is left out and no one is left behind. Those 5 priorities are beginning with the idea of inclusion and affordability, and committing ourselves to lifting up the most vulnerable with a game-changing minimum wage at the local level, the second city in Southern California to join our neighbors of Los Angeles to lift up everyone to make a decent living. Affordability around housing. We have a remarkable track record, but we are not done yet. In partnership with leaders like Richard Bloom at the state level, we are committed to affordability in this community. This is a great community, but only if we continue to have it be a diverse community. We are also equally committed to creating a new model of mobility, and we stand in the epicenter of creating choices so that people are not relegated to a car-dominated landscape, but in fact have choices of public transit, of walking, of biking, of multiplying new options about how to get around in a way that's safe, a way that's affordable, a way that's sustainable, and a way that improves their quality of life. We're committed to this idea of well-being, of learning and thriving, of a community that doesn't just deliver basic services, but a community working together to make sure that people learn and thrive, that our young people are ready for kindergarten, that they have equity across ethnic groups so that everyone achieves and everyone has an opportunity for college and career and citizenship so that they give back to this community and are committed and can afford to live in this community. And we're committed to, as Mayor Vasquez said, a regional partnership on homelessness. We have done amazing things around homelessness in our 8.3 square miles, but we have a regional crisis that we want to be a part of the solution to. We are committed to the county and to our neighbors in the city of Los Angeles to work together to make sure people are housed. And finally, we are committed to transforming our airport, which was the symbol of economic prosperity in the 20th century when the planes that won World War II were built right here. Now we're creating the 21st century economy with companies like Snapchat at that airport, and we're building a 21st century economy that will provide the quality of life to build the greatest park in Southern California. Here on the west side, where it is needed so much, we're going to have an extraordinary generational commitment and foundation for well-being and for health and for active living. These are the things that the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is lifting up as a national model. What we do here is important for the 93,000 people who live here. But if we serve those 93,000 people well, it's an opportunity for other cities to figure out how to better serve the 300 million people who live in this country, and to make sure we have a country where no one is left behind. We have a country where no one is left out. We have a country that works for everyone, built around, as Assemblymember Bloom said, this model of joining hands. Not of building walls, but of joining hands, of bringing the country together, of collaborating with serious people, tackling serious problems, and showing the way for other communities. That's the Santa Monica way. That's what's being lifted up. That's what's being recognized. And it's a challenge for us to continue this work so that others all across America will be inspired to do the same. Thank you very much for all of your efforts.
Yes. Actually, as I come back up here, we are now joined by actually another former mayor and one of my colleagues on the city council, Pam O'Connor. And now I'd like to bring up another one of our staffers who has a lot to do with, as we talk about mobility and this place, especially these scramble intersections. But as you're going to see on her T-shirt she's wearing here, Move Santa Monica here, Francine.
Good morning. Thank you all so much for being here in this beautiful crosswalk, announcing this amazing award on a beautiful day. I mean, we are just so fortunate and lucky here in Santa Monica to have all of these things coming together. But it's no accident. It's no accident that we're here. It's no accident that we're getting this award. It really is the combined effort of all of you and all of the leadership to make these kinds of things happen. And I'm really excited that we are able to celebrate and unveil this piece of art in the street today, because it really communicates the fundamental that walking is the most fundamental part of how we get around as people. It is what we do from age 1 to 100. It is what we do our whole lives. It connects us to people. It connects us to education. It connects us to jobs. It is fun. It is healthy. It is part of how we live our lives. And when we make it a joyous experience and we make the fun of running across a piece of art in the street, it encourages people to walk. It's important we do it. The nation is walking less and less, but not Santa Monica. We need to show that it's possible to elevate and make it the premier experience to walk through our downtowns and see things like this. It's a joy to watch families stop and take their pictures with something like this. Is it random? Yeah, a little bit, but that's what's so wonderful, right? The surprise and delight of running across something in a downtown is part of why we come to downtowns. And this design really symbolizes that. It symbolizes the diversity of people, places, experiences, and it really does symbolize this place and makes it an even more wonderful place to be. I want to really thank the people that made this possible. It's really a pilot for the city, and it took a lot of hard work and leadership to make it happen. And I thank all of you for being here. Let's do more of it. Let's see more of this in our world. Let's make it a wonderful and exciting place to walk and be every single day. So thank you very much.
Thank you. In closing, what I wanted to do is just thank our partners. Like I mentioned earlier, and I think I actually misrepresented my wife here. I said she was on the college board. She's actually on the school board. So I better check that. But we do have partnerships here between, yeah, I will. We have the Santa Monica Malibu School District, it was part of this partnership. Of course, Santa Monica College. We have many of the nonprofits here represented here today. Of course, our state representatives on the Assembly side, our Senate side, and of course, my colleagues on the City Council, along with the nonprofit world and many of the community members that are here today. So I wanted to thank them all, and of course, the John Wood Foundation for their generous, not only award, but their grant to make sure that we continue to strive and work on all these solutions. And as my city manager, Rick Cole, was talking about, Santa Monica has always been on the cutting edge, and it's because we have such a great partnership that we're actually not only able to deal with these issues locally, but actually set these models and examples that we take out and we show off to the world what we can do when the community comes together. And I wanted to thank you all for that. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy these scrambles that are now throughout the city of Santa Monica. Thank you.